Hi there, and today we're going to have a Wix Studio Animated Buttons tutorial. So here I am in my Wix Studio website, and I have a blank section right here. And then we're going to add the animated buttons right here. So we can click on Add Element, and then go to Buttons right here, then go to Animated Buttons. And as you can see, we have different animated buttons right here. So the difference in using animated buttons as opposed to regular buttons, as you can see, they don't have like a kind of animation when you hover over them. But when we go here, when we hover over an button, you can see that they have different animations for each of them. So for example, I want to select this one. So this one has a gradient color, and then we can just change its size. So for the text, I'll change it into a big text right here. And then for the icon, I'll change the size of the icon. Like that. And when I click on preview, when I hover over my mouse on the button, it has an animation that changes the size of this star icon right here. We can edit this further by having the regular and hover state become different. As you can see, the regular state has this gradient right here, but when I go to the hover state, it becomes a solid color. So for example, I want to change this, maybe for example into blue. And then for the regular state, I can change its color gradient into maybe like this one. And then when we click on preview, as you can see, it automatically changes its color. So you can play around with the different design of the button. So just go ahead and modify the settings right here in the inspector tool. So I just change the background, and then make sure you are choosing the correct state before you edit different features in your animated button. So for the text, you can change its style, you can change its font, the font size, you can make it bold, italic, underline, change the text color, outline color, highlight color, then the alignment, and then the capitalization. You can change the spacing, then you can add borders, corners, shadow, change the layout, and then icon, and then custom CSS. But if you want to use another button, just go ahead, click on Add Elements, and then for example, I want to have like this contact button right here. So I'll just add this to the website, and then I'll change its color into white since it is hard to see. And then let's change the text into a black color. And for the icon, this changes into black as well. And then let's change the font size, and then the icon size. Then for the hover state, we can change this into a different color, for example gray, so that it is different from the regular and then the hover look. And then when we click on preview, and as you can see, it changes its animation and then the color. And then that is it. You just need to play around with the different features right here in editing your animated buttons. And I hope you learned how to add animated buttons in your website, and thank you for watching.